All right. Good morning, everyone. The market is about to open up, and what we're looking for is a move over the high of day from prior day and pre-market high in Nvidia, as well as almost the same thing in Apple. You can see that we have a pre-market high here. This is yesterday's high. Looking for a move over that if the market can remain bullish. The ES is opening up on a gap up this morning. So we'll just sort of wait and see how the morning shakes out. I'm going to go back to a 15-minute time frame here. Pop out the internal screen, give this a little zoom, and we'll see if we can catch a live trade today. What I'm going to do is, as always, continue to scan throughout the setups. Obviously, yes, going sort of sideways here. We'll see if the gap rules are in play, and we reverse back down through the first 1 minute low. But basically, my main watches are here on Apple, which is already starting to violate yesterday's high a little bit, given the large gap up. I'm going to give it some wiggle room and time to consolidate up here. And then Nvidia, let's see what you're doing. Already backing off of that pre-market high, but there's nothing to say that it can't just, snap back up there very quickly. I've got them preloaded up here in the trade tab. You can see Nvidia is loaded in, and we will be trading one Nvidia call. It looks like, what strike did we pick? We were looking at the 520 call. So, that'll be a good candidate. If we start to break over this pre-market high, we'll likely go into the money. Contract should see a nice boost. This is a weekly just for pricing. And if we go to our Apple sort of setup over here, this one is for next week, and it's a 123 call, which again will be slightly in the money as we start to head over that pre-market high. So Nvidia looks like it was a little bit stronger. I'm going to keep this on watch here. And keep this screen primarily up. And what I'm going to do, let's just watch it unfold here for a minute. If we can consolidate up here nicely, we're not gapping outside of prior day's range. Excuse me. So there is no gap to fill. So it would be ideal if we just pop up and over that 519.08, and then from there we can make a move to the upside. You'll notice that the bid and the ask here is actually quite tight, which is kind of a rare thing on Nvidia. Oftentimes we're dealing with like a significant spread, and it just doesn't seem like that's the case this morning. So, okay, there it goes, 20 by 40. There's a 20-cent spread. It'll obviously tighten as prices head higher, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to, pop an alert on this one for now since there's no opening drive higher. Add an alert. Where is it? There it is. And we will go at or above is fine. Create. And we'll just wait patiently for now. I'm going to scan through other setups and I will fast forward. All right, Apple is approaching our level here, and I just want to point out the context of this trade. You're not going to take it on this first break since we've already come down and all the way back up, which is about a $1 range here in Apple. So I'd like to see it consolidate a little bit further, which looks like it's starting to kind of do that there. And there's the break. Again, I would have preferred to see a little bit more consolidation. This can go higher here, but the entry point wasn't exactly my favorite. As I just said, would have been better for Apple to do something like this. Maybe take one 5-minute candle just below and then get a break. Sometimes we're not fortunate enough to actually have it play out that way, and now it's moving higher. But for my risk preferences, I would have liked to see that to avoid getting trapped in some sort of pullback. The next one you can see that I sort of had loaded up here is actually Facebook. If this one consolidates nicely, and gives us sort of that consolidation that we were looking for in Apple, maybe a 5-minute candle that's, a small inside doji, then definitely looking for it long into that area of resistance on the chart. Looks like it's already going though. And maybe Nvidia is the laggard. Yep, so this one hasn't perked up at all yet. So we'll see if any of these things want to cooperate here. But for now, nothing meets my risk preferences, at least in terms of what I'm looking for in an entry. So on Apple, boom, that's that pullback right there that we sort of wanted to see, but it obviously happened a little bit higher. So the next trade here is if we can hold on to the pre-market high, which we just dipped below, then, excuse me, voice is terrible this morning. If we can hold on to that, then we're looking for something like this, right? It's a look above, hold, and then go over the high of day once again. So that's sort of the next setup here on Apple. And again, you don't want to get caught in these pullbacks, which is why I was saying it would have been better for this to consolidate underneath the pre-market high. Let's check in on Facebook. Again, would have been nicer for some consolidation. You can see it's sort of not stalling out, but the movement here isn't as smooth as what we saw in that first 5-minute candle because there's been no pause for the bulls, right? They're just putting in energy, and eventually they get tired. So NVIDIA doesn't look like it's going to be in play. It looks like our options contract is back to being spready. You can see it's 490 by 520, 505, 475. So just not something I really want to get caught up in. The first few minutes of the day, it was fine, but as of right now, not a trade I am looking to take. We'll continue to scan, and I will let you know if I'm seeing anything that's happening. All right, so the setup here on not Alibaba, but Boeing, BA, not BA, is the gap fill reversal, right? So I'm really liking this lower wick that's forming off of the prior day's high. It is slightly extended on the daily time frame if we look at something like this, but if we can consolidate and sort of cool off here for a little bit, I'm liking a high of day break after the gap fill reversal. And again, we picked the 250 strike because as we clear that high of day, our contract will go into the money. So I'm going to watch this one closely here. It looks like our Apple, it's trying to figure out that pre-market high, and Facebook, again, just went without any meaningful pullback. So right now, BA is going to be the main focus. I would prefer that it did not break the high of day on this particular candle, and we got one more, which will look likely just based on the timer up here in the top left. But for now, again, on Boeing, the entry is going to be over the high of day, looking for a move over 250, maybe a day 2 running play. I mean, if we just check out that daily time frame, huge expansion of range yesterday, and, could see the momentum continue here. So watching the high of day break on Boeing quite carefully, we will see if we get an entry or not. I like what it's doing here. Looks like it's going to go for it. Ideally, we would see one quick little pullback right here. Good. You see how it's not breaking the high of day immediately, sort of building some strength. I like it. We're in. We're going to get in there at 376, it looks like. Again, looking for the clearing of 250, and we'll float an order out to see if we can get about $1 of a move here. Looks like we broke the whole figure. We will see if we get a little bit of follow through and get some fill on this contract. BA can be a runner, but again, being, I'm trading a weekly option here. I'm just looking for that quick pop. And ultimately, what we don't want to see happen is a huge failure, a huge upper wick here that brings us back into, that first 5-minute candle essentially. So we'll give this one a little bit of time to play out. It looks like, a good promising setup here. We are moving towards that 251 whole number. Do want to see the 250 hold. And I'll just sort of wait and be patient in this one and see if we can get, this contract filled. And just like that, we are out of the trade. And if I just pop this up, again, being that it was a one lot lesson, not looking for, making a whole ton of money. We're just looking to quickly scalp. This isn't going to show our, 376 to 430. Not a very good person when it comes to math, so cutting to a voiceover because I 100% said the wrong number there. I did admit to being bad at math. It was a $54 win, but let's continue on. Again, could this keep going? Could it run all the way up to a $5 contract? Sure, but my particular method of scalping, being in and out of contracts extremely fast, is how I like to get paid. So glad I was able to catch this entry for you. I'm also really excited that we talked about Apple and why I did not take that pre-market break. It wasn't lining up the way I wanted it to. So hopefully there was a learning lesson there. And we also talked about Facebook, again, not giving us any form of pullback there. So there was technically no entry. And what we saw was, beautiful here. Gap fill reversal, saw the lower wick form. If we took out the high of day, we were looking for that snappy move to the upside. As of right now, it looks like we made the right choice getting out at 430, taking quick profits because you can see now it is starting to roll over a little bit. Now, did I know it was going to do that? Not really. No one can really know what the market's going to do, but based on my rules, my strategy, my risk tolerance, that's what I had to do to, trade this successfully. We'll just check in on the broad market and then we'll wrap it up here. In the broad market, looks like our breaths are green, so it's not like we were fighting the overall direction of the market. ADDs are coming in a little bit, no big deal. Ticks are holding 0, which is what you want to see, and the ES is sort of just chopping around. By this upper wick, we can see that prices were up, and now they're slightly down. So a choppy morning here that isn't quite coming all the way down to fill the gap or running over the overnight high. So looks like we made the right choice. Sideways market, you don't want to be hanging around, especially when you have theta eating away at your options. I hope this was useful. I hope it was helpful. that you got to see this all unfold live. If we just go back to our monitor tab, again, here are the entries and exits. I was in at 941.13 and out at 942.19. So just over a 1 minute trade there, bringing in about $8. And if I bring up this Discord chat, which you're all welcome to join, it's completely free. I alerted this here, the very last alert on our list, BA gap fill reversal in play, looking for a move over high of day for day 2 continuation. That's exactly what I was telling you guys as I was sort of describing it at 9:40. That's what was alerted, and that's exactly what we just played here. If you're interested in learning how I know about these setups and things of this nature, you're welcome to go to tradebrigade.co/learn. Okay, I put together a very comprehensive course. It's over 10 hours of video content. It's priced at $27 right now. I mean, as you saw in one trade with one contract, you can easily make that money back. So it's not like I'm out here trying to charge an arm and a leg for this information. I want you to have some skin in the game so you take the learning lessons seriously and then you can apply them. Again, it's $27. You just saw me make in a matter of less than a minute with the knowledge that you can pick up from this course. So again, it's tradebrigade.co/learn. It'll be linked down below in the description. Feel free to check it out. You get access to a private portion of the Discord community where you can ask any questions about any of the content. And again, I'm there to sort of, answer those questions and clarify if things aren't clear. So all that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up. It was a nice quick trade there on Boeing. It looks like it's continuing a little bit higher right now. Just took out a new high of day. You can see the contracts are moving higher. But again, according to my risk tolerance, we did what we had to do. We were in and out. And again, I wish you all a green trading week. I hope to see you in the weekly watch list on Sunday.